to The Sweetest Thing on XFM. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
So, we're with Karl in the week. So, well, what can we do this week? I was saying, well, don't do Rockbusters, that's dead in the water. I hope the listening public agree with me. He's going, well, you know, why don't I teach stuff again? Remember what I taught you last week? I went, no, no idea. Were you joking? I went, no. And it was, he went, Ivan the Terrible gouged out a fella's eyes.
Yeah.
He actually said Ivan the Terrible at the time.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember. This was a man who had built something for Ivan the Terrible, and then
but his idea of education is telling someone something that knows more about the subject than him, so they can correct him when he's telling them it. And so I said, well, I don't know. And he gets annoyed that me and you are dubious against monkeys who perform bank robberies. And he goes, but you believe in Newton. He doesn't know the difference. I was trying to explain the laws of the universe, right? He was going, what do you do? And so all I come up with, I thought somewhat interesting. You know when you tell a child maths, you say you've got 3 potatoes and you've got 4 potatoes. I have to do that with science to Karl. So I ended up saying, imagine you're in a shopping trolley with loads of house bricks. If you throw the house bricks out, you'll go the other way. He loved that.
Right.
He didn't you?
Hmm. Because I didn't know that would happen. And it's sort of useful to know. It sort of explained a bit to me and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why I like doing stuff every week. I think listeners go away going, well, I didn't know that. Do you know what I mean? Karl told me something there.
They forget it instantly, just like we do. We're friends of yours, and we forget it instantly.
No, the annoying thing with you is, Steve, not so much, Ricky, at least they'll listen now and again, you'll just dismiss stuff straight away. I told you loads of stuff yesterday, I taught you loads of stuff.
But Karl, what you consider education... well, hang on, what you consider education, I consider tittle-tattle.
Well...
It's not education. Do you know what I mean? You seem to think it's education. It's just kind of gossip, stories you've sort of half-read.
Right, alright, example of yesterday. Goldfish have longer memories than people think they do.
Yeah.
You said no, it's rubbish.
No, we didn't. We said where'd you get that from? We said, oh, really?
From?
Yeah.
There's not enough information there for it to be educational. Because
because it's also relative. Because that as a statement, it has no objectivity. Goldfish's memories are longer than some people think. That isn't a fact.
Exactly.
Because we don't know how long do people think a goldfish's memory is. Do you see what that isn't a fact? Whereas Newton's laws of physics and the universe are.
Right. Yeah, but it was just a little thing. And I taught you more than that. I said about there's loads of Chinese people, if you put them in a line, you can't get to the end of it.
I don't know what that means!
I don't know what that means.
There's loads of Chinese people.
We know that, but what? If we put them in a line, we can't get to the end of it?
We just say there's about 1 billion Chinese people in the world.
But what really annoys me is, right, I read something on the internet the other day, because I'm always trying to learn stuff.
Yeah, no you are, I know you are.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're having a go at me because you're saying, well, what does that mean? Yeah, there was a report on, I think it was on Anova or BBC News website, it said, the world may end in 32 million years. Right, first of all it says may, it doesn't say it will, and 32 million, who's going to argue with that? And yet they're allowed to put that on a website. You're not having a go at them.
No, but
you didn't read on.
There's more information.
That wasn't meant to be a newsflash to worry people. That was like, oh, scientists have discovered that possibility. That was just like.
Yeah, but again, possibility.
No, but Karl, but it's the 8 other paragraphs that you haven't read. You see, that'll have to give explanations as to why they think that might happen. So therefore, it becomes a news item. It becomes educational. It's not just the headline, the bullet point. The headline's just supposed to. It's supposed to draw you into the story so you read on. That's not all the information.
But then I was trying to come up with things to excite you, and I realised that I was opening a can of worms. I was trying to come up with facts for him. He was going, give me facts. So I said, oh, okay. Why can't an owl? Why does an owl have to turn its sort of head 180 degrees? And I said, it's because the eyes are so large, has a huge focal point for its sight, that they can't move within the skull, right? And he went, well, why'd they do that? Why don't they just do it, give them normal eyes, and then after I've turned their head? I went, what do you mean? Why didn't they? He went, well, whoever did that. I went, well, it was evolution, he went, right. He went, it's like giraffes. I read that giraffes grew their necks to eat food. I said, well, they didn't grow their necks to get the food. The ones that had upshots lived longer and so got the food and passed on their... He went, yeah, but why didn't they just give them wings? I went, why didn't who just give them wings? He got angry and went, whoever gave them the necks! His understanding of evolution made me fall on the floor.
Who do you imagine is they? Because you don't believe in God, do you? So who is it you imagine is they?
Well, whoever made us sorted us out.
Who?
don't know, it just happens, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
there's
Carl,
no,
listen,
there's no will to evolution. It's natural selection,
I
isn't
still
it?
don't get it though. We talked about an hour, didn't we?
I know.
And
Yeah, but to be
don't
fair,
get it.
I watched as Ricky tried to give you actually what was quite a concise and educated version of evolution. He tried to explain it to you, and I have never seen a person lose interest quicker.
But I tried to use actual fact, then I tried to use metaphor and analogy, then I showed you some computer programs to show what biofeedback is and everything. I tried all these things, and Steve's right. You were looking out the window.
Have you ever spoken, Carl, to someone who's got Alzheimer's disease? And you try to explain who you are, and they're listening, and then that's what you're like. It's extraordinary. But listen, seriously, I went home, I found this book, I found a couple of facts which I think are more up your street. Evolution, a little bit complicated. A little bit big. But this one, I think we may have mentioned it before, I think you'll like this. This is from a book of facts and trivia. The Egyptians trained baboons to wait on tables. That's interesting to you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Have you got any more there?
I'll see if I can find
Oh, he's interested.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the staff.
That did happen, yeah?
You pay peanuts,
definitely happened,
you get
yeah.
monkeys.
And then what did they go off and do after that?
Well, it doesn't say. So
I
this is
love
it.
the fact that he thinks, right, okay, so in his mind, it's now the monkey going, it's 5:30, I'm off, you know I was going early today, and they go off maybe dancing or something, or they come in late.
No, I think I assumed what you meant there is that was their first career move. And
Yeah,
then they
well,
went on. It's like actors waiting to be discovered.
Play a record.
Just one more before you play a record.
Oh, man.
You'll like this. Peter the Great. You ever heard of Peter the Great?
No.
Okay, well anyway, Peter the Great had his wife's lover
Oh.
executed.
You'll love this, Carl.
Right, so his wife had a lover, he had him executed, and he put his head into a jar of alcohol, and his wife had to keep it in her bedroom. Do you understand? That's every time every morning she'd wake up, and there was her lover's head in a jar.
Who took his head off? He took his own head off.
Play a record.
Play a record.
She had a lover, and oh, never mind. Never mind. Mad World on XFM. We just had a text, Rick, from Andrew Barnes. He says he watched the same documentary, it would appear, as Carl did in the week. And he says here, just to clarify, the leech nose man got it up there when drinking from a muddy stream. And he goes on, one can only imagine the frightenedness he experienced.
Oh, Carl. Explain to him once more what happened with Peter the Great.
Alright, so we've got Peter the Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And his wife had a lover.
That's
on the
another
side.
man.
Another man.
Not Peter the Great.
She was having an affair with someone else.
Right.
And Peter the Great, he found out about that. Okay?
Yeah.
So he sliced off this bloke's head, he killed him, he executed him.
Right.
Were you with me so far?
The fella who
Oh, Jesus.
she was seeing for a bit.
Yeah, there's only two fellas involved.
There's two people
though.
involved. One's Peter the Great, the other one's
Right,
not.
right.
The guy that's not Peter the Great...
Derek the Terrible.
Derek the Rubbish.
Yeah.
Right? He's having an affair with Peter the Great's missus. So Peter the Great slices off his head, puts it inside a jar of alcohol to preserve it, and puts it in his wife's bedroom. So every morning she wakes up, she sees her lover's head.
You'd have thought he wouldn't have wanted to remember, wouldn't you?
Oh.
Best bury the head so she don't remember.
Well, it was a reminder so as not to put it about.
And did it work?
Oh, I don't know.
I love that. Again, that to me is an amazing thing to do. And you go, did it work? I mean, you've got quite an interesting mind, actually. I mean, you are, in some ways, really, really bright and intelligent. I love the way you think. You're one of the cleverest blokes, in some ways, that I know.
I know it says I've got common sense.
Well...
Yeah.
And that's more important than knowing about,
But it's
goldfish
what, it's like you follow the subplot, which is quite an interesting thing, do you know what I mean? It's like, you tell you a story, you'll always pick up on something that I didn't even think was an important bit. It's like you're always, you're looking out of the window all the time.
So what's important about that head thing?
What do you mean?
The head in the jar.
It's a grotesque thing to do. It shows, ego, power, cruelty, and revenge.
Although I think it probably did work, because he is called Peter the Great.
Yeah.
So you'd assume he got it right.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can query that. That's the sort of facts you give us. You see now, you're on the other side of the fence, and you've got questions, just like we've always got questions.
No, but in Carl's thing, it would have been, turns out, some weird happened, right, and he was still alive.
Yeah.
And so she was still having sex with body, and his head was watching.
Yeah.
And Peter the Great didn't even know.
See how he's perked up?
I understand what you're saying. Now, I've learned some other stuff. So I'll see if I can, educate you a bit before 3.
But I want to know, see what, I'll tell you what education I want. I want to know what sort of things I can buy this weekend.
Butt plugs.
No. Have you got any adverts?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.